Joe Biden basically endorsing, sex changes for children. And then Joe Biden's giving some really interesting remarks as well right after that, which kind of contradicts what he said.
Sex changes for children. Now, I'm going to keep saying this every time, but if you allow a law to pass that says a child can consent at any age to a sex change, then that opens the door for other laws to be passed having to do with children being able to consent to things. Let me just show you this. This bill passes that provides protection to people who have sex with minors, keeps them off sex offender registration. So we have Mr. Weiner, California State Senator Scott Weiner, offered Bill SB 145, passed this Monday,
3 years ago,
2020. The bill has more than a few people concerned because of the protection it provides to. The bill would change how the sex offender registry treats gay relationships between young adults and minors.
Gay relationships.
Yeah, no, see, this will come back to bite us in the ass because it's focused on gay men having sex with children, not straight men having sex with children. Gay men. This would mean sexual relationships between boys as young as 8 years old and 18-year-old young men. Another way to put it, that is statutory rape.
It sounds like a 10-year age gap. If you're 18 and you have sex with an 8-year-old, it's not rape, it's statutory.
If an adult is 18 years old, they shouldn't be
Under
having
those
sex.
sections, if an offender is no more than 10 years older than a minor victim and commits certain acts, they must register as a sex offender. So it's saying, like, if there's more than a 10-year age gap, then you have to become a sex offender.
But if you're a legal adult and you're having sex with a child and the age gap is less than 10 years, then you're not a sex offender?
Yeah, that's what I'm seeing.
That is a California bill that's passed. In the name of gays!
Well, it says he's openly gay.
Yeah, but look at what it says. How would see gay relationships?
Apparently, certain acts are more likely to be committed by homosexual offenders, and acts not covered are unique to heterosexual assaults involving male offenders and female victims of statutory rape. I don't even know what that really... What acts are you referring to?
How did this get passed?
He said that if the age of a minor victim and the offender are no more than 10 years apart, the offender does not have to register as a sexual offender, provided it is a first offense and other criteria does not apply. For instance, force or violence was not used.
Why are we giving lax laws to...
It sounds like that's exactly what this is, but specifically for gay men.
This is protection. This is child protection. Under the guise of it being discriminatory against members of the LGBTQ community.
You realize 10 years is like an elementary age student getting with a high schooler. Senior, specifically. Like a second grader dating a senior.
Like, this passed in 2020, and I had no freaking idea. This is how disgusting it's becoming to be a part of the LGBTQ, because all these creepy things involving children are becoming normalized in the name of pride. I wanted to bring that up.
It's gross.
Because this is what is happening all underneath the surface that a lot of people don't see. Or they say it's not happening, which is just insane. Just because you cover your eyes doesn't mean that the house fire is not there anymore.
You can still feel the heat.
It's still there. Mm-hmm. You're just not affected by it. But the people in the house who are burning are definitely affected.
Here's the president's statement.
And families across the country face excruciating decisions to relocate to a different state to protect their child from dangerous anti-LGBTQ laws, we have to act. We have to act as a nation. We need to push back against the hundreds of callous and cynical bills and laws introduced in states targeting transgender children, terrifying families, and criminalizing doctors and nurses. These bills and laws attack the most basic values and freedoms we have as Americans. That's not hyperbole, that's a fact. The right to be yourself, the right to make your own health decisions, the right to raise your own children.
So, really interesting. Yeah, he says the right to make your own healthcare decisions. So, it really seems like he's saying that children have the right to make their own healthcare decisions. That's not how this works, Joe. It's really not. Children are not capable of consenting to those types of things. Saying that these bills are anti-LGBT is insane, if you guys remember last week. I have been lobbying in 2 states now for multiple bills across the country to ban the practice of, medicalizing children. It's not what we should be doing. We should be letting kids be kids. Let them grow up.
Nobody can just let kids be kids now. I was watching this interview with Megan Fox where she was talking about, well, all of her boys are non-binary, but they dress like girls.
Did they get that from MGK?
Who knows? But they're all young. And these white liberal moms think that just because they're little boys like girls' clothes or whatever, that they have to change their gender. That means that they're changing their gender. Why not just allow a little boy to like Barbies and girl clothes and pink? Like, what's the problem with that? Why do they need to change just because they like something? You're giving your children a false idea of what it is to be trans.
They want to be trendy. It's not being trans, it's being trendy. You all get designer bags because
Now
of that.
now these children think because I like girls' clothes or because I like pink, that means I'm a girl. So these kids are growing up having a completely skewed idea of what it is to be trans to begin with.
I will continue to say with the Megan Fox thing, look at Machine Gun Kelly. He's not trans. He's not non-binary.
I would be surprised if he came out as non-binary, though, or a woman one day.
My point with that is, though, that doesn't at all threaten his masculinity, according to her. However, they're non-binary. Why
Or
can't
queer,
they just?
whatever
Why
that
can't they
means.
just be kids who like pink, like your ex-boyfriend did?
Because they have to live their truth.
Because you want to post.
Children
on the
don't
internet.
even know what truth is. They think the Easter Bunny is real. Santa Claus is real. But then again, Megan Fox thinks she's a witch. So, I guess they're all living in cuckoo land up in California.
Yo, they're on some other shit.
To where that, get them the mental health care that they need as they grow up, and then they can grow up and make those decisions for themselves. And apparently, the First Lady agrees with me. So here's what she said on the issue.
We want our kids just to be kids, running around and, hey, eating too much sugar. To laugh with the friends that we wish we saw more often. To find solace in the arms of people who see us for who we are. To celebrate the beauty and the resilience of this community.
So a child who does not know how much sugar intake is good for them can make their own medical decisions? It's up to them to determine whether they are...
Another bill that they're trying to pass in California is that if you don't affirm your child's quote-unquote gender identity, that they can be taken away from you.
Kind of Canadian, eh?
Now, that's crazy. If you've ever taken a look inside the foster care system in America,
It's not good.
it's not good. So these children are not only having so much power over their parents, they're given power to do things that they don't understand the repercussions of. If they're upset that their parents aren't affirming their gender identity, and then the state takes them away and throws them in foster care, there is a high probability that bad things are going to happen to them in the foster care system. Foster care system is not a good system. I have not heard anything good about the foster care system.
I've seen a
in
couple
America.
good stories, but it's like, you hate your family? Okay,
Go to
well,
foster
good
care and
luck.
see how nice it is.
Like,
because it ain't nice.
It's the whole thing. You can pick your friends. You can't pick your family. There are some situations where it is warranted, where foster care is better. But I would say a majority of the time, especially if it's just a gendering issue or something where it comes down to sexuality, which was something I had to deal with, you don't want to go into foster care. No.
Especially not over the fact that your parents aren't affirming your identity because you think you know better, because your teacher told you that you know better and that you know your truth, when really you're a child whose brain hasn't fully developed and you have no idea what the fuck you're talking about.
These like pride events that they're having at their schools. At this point, the LGBT community, and actually, no, I'm going to stop saying the LGBT community. It's not the LGBT community.
Now, this is where I have a disagreement with Sarah. Sarah's trans. Now, I believe that it should be the LGBs and not the TQ, etc. There are really good trans people out there who are not for this shit, but their overall representation is disgusting. And so it's almost like we have to separate the lesbian, gay, bisexual, transsexuals with the transgender, queer, and all that other shit. That's my prerogative, because the people who are just self-identifying and getting boob jobs or cutting off their boobs, they don't, they're the worst fucking representation for the trans people.
I don't think it's a matter of what you say. I think it's more like lesbians are with women, gay men are with gay men, transgender people can be with either, depending either way. So where does transsexual fall into the same category? I understand that they're changing their gender and some men might want to be with women and that's why they do it, but that's not always the case. So in my mind, in my head, what is the reason that we lump together transgender with homosexuals? Because not all transgender people are homosexuals.
Even then, a lot of these transgender people cancel out the lesbians, gays, and bisexuals.
They're
And
trying to.
even the transsexuals, by saying that if you don't take girl dick, that you are a transphobic person. You're pretty much saying that lesbians don't exist.
But if
and
I was
that-
straight, am I transphobic? If I was straight,
yeah, you would be transphobic because you don't want to date a trans person. That's their thing. You know what though? I don't really hear a lot of trans men though saying men should date me. Although I see a lot of these biological men who portray themselves as trans being so hateful against lesbians because they don't want to have sex with them. So much so that they kick us off our own dating app.
but I think it's more of a pity party. Like, who can throw the biggest pity party? Who can scream the loudest? Who can be the most dramatic? Who can get the most attention?
And they're winning. So
How
much
could you
so.
not? When you're willing to show off your entire body and scream and demand and say kids can consent to things, how could you not win when you're so loud?
Damn right!
And people are, for the most part,
Pussies?
I wouldn't even say pussies. They just want to get through their days. They're so depressed. The modern majority is so depressed and over shit that they don't want to fucking fight. And because you have the energy and the willingness to put up a fucking fight that says you're stronger and you're better and that you'll win every time, people are just fucking fed up and like, have what you want, man. Bye.
I think one of the main reasons why people are more accepting of this than before is because women have become boss bitches and men have become beta males. The feminization of men has made it so they're feminists and they're fighting against, they say they're fighting for women and for the LGBTQ, and really they're just not. If there were more men out there, not feminized, they would be standing up for this more. Standing up for us, for children, for families more. But because men are so feminized now, they're like, oh, we're going to be feminists. Trans women are women. And it's like, no, dude. Do you know that you are literally castrating yourself? Do you think you're going to get pussy? No. Why are there no men who are like standing up for kids, for family?
Because everyone's fucking
for
over
women's
it.
spaces. Why? Because they're fucking, they're feminine.
tired.
They're feminine.
They're tired.
They're tired of what? What?
Are you not tired? Are you not tired?
I'm not a feminine man.
Are you not tired?
No, I'm just mad.
I'm tired. I'm tired of this shit. I just don't
So
even...
do you think men just like put their hands up and go, I'm
what's the
just
fucking
gonna
point?
bow down to the
no,
women?
No, it's not even that. It's more like, what's the point of putting my energy into this fight when they're not even giving the energy back? When 90% of the women you find want to be the boss bitch, what's the point of trying to be a man?
If that's true, then what's the point of fighting for them if they're so tired?
They're just done. They'll get a woman who's going to boss them around. They're going to be fine with it. They're going to move on with their lives.
They're gonna be cheated on left, right, and center.
And they'll cheat back.
With who?
With
What woman wants that?
the one woman who's all, oh, I need someone to listen to me. And then they'll fuck and then they'll get over it. I'm telling you, that's the way of the world these days. Gross chills. That fucking laugh.
Yeah, so that's what Pride's turned into, huh?
That made me uncomfortable.
Jiggly tits.
That made my tits hurt just watching. And that's not even someone
Yeah.
who's had tits long.
Family friendly? No. Here's the thing when it comes to tits and trans women. They don't view their tits the way that women view their tits.
I don't think they feel the same.
They definitely
They can't.
don't. See, they've never had them, so they want the world to see them. But real women
Don't want that.
don't want that.
No, they don't.
That's the difference between a biological man and a woman. A biological man will take those tits and just show them off to everyone, but a woman, no. Why? Because women will be objectified.
I had nightmares in like middle school and high school that I went to school without a bra on. Like it's like a kid not wearing pants to school, but like I really had nightmares where it's like I didn't wear a bra. And it's like you sit there the whole time if you're not wearing a bra and you have to go out for any fucking reason. You sit there and you're like this the whole time because you're just like don't
look at them.
Don't acknowledge them.
This video right here has been very popular on YouTube and TikTok, and you're gonna see why.
Welcome to the White House. Thank you. Happy Pride Month. Happy Pride Year. Happy Pride Life. Transgender children.
You are beautiful.
You are heard.
You belong.
You're understood.
You are loved.
And you belong. You're the bravest and most inspiring people I've ever known. I mean, you're welcome. Good folks.
Do you feel empowered right now? Are you getting the vapors? Are you getting tingles all over? Your president said you're strong and proud.
Yes. I hate that so much. Yes. Praise me. Celebrate me. I'm the center of the world.
Take a little video. Hi, Mr. President. It is an honor. Trans rights are human rights. Oh, it's a Gay news. It's so damn. Are we topless at the White House?
So what'd you think of that?
The main thing that bothers me is how insanely exposing they are. Be gay. Be trans. Keep your fucking private parts private. As they told people when they were children. Keep your private parts to yourself. There's places to do that online. Not in front of the White House.
That's not what concerns me. What concerns me is that there were children there.
I didn't even see the children.
There were children there.
I believe you. I'm just saying I was so fucking baffled. I didn't even see the kids. And you're just flicking your tits.
What baffles me the most is that they're completely comfortable with exposing themselves around children. Not only do they have no shame, but they think they can get away with it because they have the shield of the LGBT.
Well, I guess they are getting away with it right now, aren't they?
This one definitely got banned from the White House for that.
It has recently come to my attention that conservatives are trying to use the video of me topless at the White House to try to call the community groomers, etc. And I would just like to say that, first of all, going topless in Washington, D.C. is legal.
First of all, there's no community. Everyone that says there's community, there's no community. And I say this because detransitioners get ignored. They get treated like absolute garbage. And they're supposed to be a part of our community. If you are in a community, no matter what you're going through, you're part of that community. No matter what your beliefs are, you're part of that community, right? Not with this. Not with the LGBT. No, you have to abide or get the fuck out. Regardless, if you're an L, if you're a G, if you're a B, or if you're a T, if you don't abide, then you need to get the fuck out. That is their rule of law when it comes to the LGBT community. That's not a community. That's what I like to call a cult. That's what cults do. This is not a fucking community. I do not feel and have never felt accepted by this fucking community. They're the fucking biggest bullies of them all. And I'm talking, this trumps Christians. They're the biggest fucking bullies to the LGBT.
I want to just acknowledge what was said, which is that it's legal to be topless in D.C. And that's fine and dandy. It might be legal, but I can damn well guarantee you most women don't want to do that. Most women will not sit there and bounce their tits because they don't want to be sexualized, which is something that the whole Me Too movement was about, but you guys have taken that and flipped it all the way around to now you're going to become a woman and sexualize yourself, and that's exactly what women have been fighting against, is desexualizing tits so you can go out and breastfeed your baby and not have men looking at you. But instead, the people who clearly don't understand that struggle are sitting there bouncing their tits around, flailing them around, and acting like they're the best thing in the world. Guess what? Women aren't like that. It can be legal all you want to have your tits out. But women are insecure because those are sensitive things on a woman. They feel sensitive. You can tell when they're out. You can feel every last bit of everything going on with them, which I don't think is the same for men. Biologically, men who get the estrogen to have those, I don't think it feels the same. They might be somewhat sensitive, but they don't feel as always there. Because it's not something you're used to. To sit here and say that, oh, it's not a big deal because it's not illegal, it's completely legal. That's not how women feel about it. It's just not true. And if I'm wearing a giant hoodie, you best not be doing anything and asking any questions. That's it. Women will do anything to hide their breasts unless they are desiring sexualization. Because then you're asking for it. You know, if I really wanted to get something, or if I'm going on a date, what's the first thing I'm making sure is showing on that date? My tits, saying, hey, I'm open. If I'm not open, hey, close them off. You don't go out in public and just show everyone your tits.
But wait, there's more.
To call the community groomers, etc. And I would just like to say that, first of all, going topless in Washington, D.C. is legal. And I fully support the movement in freeing the nipple, because why is my chest now deemed inappropriate or illegal when I show it off? However, before...
Because you weren't just walking around topless. Instead, you were bouncing them around and sexualizing yourself. There's a big difference.
In front of kids.
Big difference.
However, before coming out as trans, it was not. All you're doing is affirming that I am a woman. All you're doing is saying that trans women are women.
And all you're doing is continuing to sexualize women, just like men have done for centuries. Congratulations, you're still part of the patriarchy.
Congratulations. You're a misogynist. And this is not reaffirming that this person is a woman. This is just reaffirming that this person is a groomer.
And a misogynist.
Absolute misogynist. Absolutely. There's no fucking free the nipple. Fuck free the nipple.
If all of a sudden you're flipping the script to free the nipple, and you're like, why are my boobs sexual even though I was bouncing them around and sexualizing them? You did it to yourself. There's a reason women, like I said earlier, hide their fucking nipples.
It is so incredibly mind-blowing to see this person literally trying to defend themselves as if they're not doing
something grotesque,
anything wrong. It is baffling to me how oblivious these people are, because they're so egocentric. They're so inside their own heads. Me. Look at me.
I can't be in there.
You're welcome. This is an asshole human being. This isn't a good person. This isn't a person who's going to be a good fucking friend, a decent individual when you go out. This is a nightmare person. Don't hire this person. You will go to court. You will get sued.
Well, actually, I'm in the right because nobody fucking cares if it's right legally. It's fucking gross.
The LGBTQ is not your cloak of invisibility to do creepy shit in front of kids and to completely erase women.
I want to acknowledge the point where they said before I was trans it wasn't a big deal, because you see men walking shirtless all the time and people don't sexualize men's chests.
I will not affirm a trans woman who acts like a fucking dude.
Which is, like I said, you are still a part of the patriarchy. Congratulations, you're extending it. To sit there and say those kind of things?
Yeah. Typical misogynist.
You sexualized yourself in that moment. You could have sat there with your nice, low-cut, shoulderless dress and had the same effect. Like I said, if I'm going on a date and I want to get someone's attention, I wear something low-cut. I don't pop my fucking titties out and say, hey, let's go out. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me.
This community is a cult. These extreme activists are groomers wearing the shield of our acronym in order to get away with all this shit. When is it going to fucking stop?
It got me.
It is splitting the country apart, splitting the entire LGBTQ apart. We don't want to be associated with people like them.
Why would we? I'm not out there flashing my... You can call yourself a woman as much as you want, but I know what real women feel. And I know more women than just me have had the nightmare of not wearing a bra out in public or being in that experience. Like I said, she knows the hoodie thing, and I guarantee you, if you're a woman, you know the hoodie thing. Because you don't want people staring at your goddamn nipples. It could be 100 degrees outside, and you're still going to wear a fucking sweater to hide your nipples. It's just that fucking simple. You want to wear a sports bra, wear a sports bra. You want to wear something low cut, wear something low cut. Keep your titties in your fucking shirt.
I don't care if you're a trans, whatever the fuck, fairy. An asshole is an asshole, and I judge people based on their character. These people are assholes, and they don't represent the good people in our community. But there's a lot of invaders, and they want to invade schools. They want to invade children's lives. They want to invade their brains with this ideology that makes no fucking sense, because inside that ideology, it's all hypocrisy on top of hypocrisy, completely eradicating gays and lesbians to where there's no sexual orientation. It's all about gender orientation. What the fuck are we doing? Why are we allowing this to happen? Why are you allowing your kids to be subjected to this? Why can't we just let kids be kids, wear and play whatever the fuck they want to? And if they have mental health issues, go to a therapist that's not affirming their mental illness, but is actually trying to help them to get to the root of the fucking problem to begin with. We're not doing that no more. No, we're just affirming their fucked upness. If I had my fucked upness affirmed as a child with all the shit I was going through, man, I'd be a fucking dude right now. A miserable fucking dude, or I'd be dead, because I definitely would have committed suicide.
I know I wouldn't be a dude, but I know if anyone affirmed the things I was thinking, then I'd be told I was a piece of shit and I was garbage and everything else that would have led me way closer to than I already was. So, like, I get it.